Hello and welcome to Art Toronto. My name is Mia Nielsen. I'm the director of the fair, and today we're very pleased to share with you a collection tour from Krista Howard. She's a Vancouver-based gallerist, art consultant, and collector. Today she's going to show you her extensive collection of Canadian and international artists, featuring works by Tracey Emin, Chloe Wise, Lisa Yuskavage, and many more. Enjoy.
For me, collecting is a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong journey. It truly doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to put together a collection that's honest and authentic and really is reflective of myself and really what's important to me. I bought my first piece when I was, I think, around 20. It was a collage-based work by an artist by the name of Ammon, who was an important figure in the Vancouver art scene in the 60s. It was sort of the beginning of a lifelong passion and obsession. So this piece by Elizabeth McIntosh is a really important piece to me and in my collection on a personal level, but also on a level of what the collection actually stands for. It first of all, it makes me laugh, which is really important to me. It's just sort of silly and whimsical and cartoonish, which has a real appeal to me, but it really speaks to me on a level of a personal journey. And when I first saw it, I was in a position of transition in my life, and it really provided me with everything I sort of needed to move forward. For me, there's a lot of value in looking at emerging artists, and I like getting in early. I like supporting them and really trying to bolster their career. If I see talent in somebody, I really want to support them. This particular piece is by an artist from Vancouver, and it really speaks to me in so many levels in so many ways. And I like to place that work with blue chip work and just sort of have a really interesting dialogue between artists in different junctures of their career and in different positions of power. So I really like these two pieces together, and I think they're a great complement to the Hirsts at the end of the hall and to the NFT. I think it really is a nice full circle of the work come together. According to him, it was a culmination of a 5-year program that he was working on, where he started with large format paintings of cherry blossoms, and he sort of moved forward into this series, and he did it in an open edition style that you find with NFTs and certain time frames, and there was vault, and there's all the things that you find when you're purchasing an NFT, which then culminated in the actual NFT, which I have hanging in the back. I find this to be cutting edge, and I think it's really important when you're building a collection and you're buying art from clients or whatever to be on the cutting edge. I think that one of the most compelling pieces in my collection, at least in my mind or for me, is my Tracey Emin work on paper. It's a small, intimate portrait of a woman sitting in a posture of angst and pain, and I really feel and know that with her work, she goes deep, and I find that kind of honesty and raw vulnerability really something that I want to live with and have in my home and in my collection. With these pieces of work here, there's a lot of history for me. The Mel Bochner piece is actually really close to my heart because I had it for a number of years, and it's always hung in the entryway of my homes, and because of the content, it was a real neighborhood prize, and the little boys in the neighborhood used to come all down, they'd all stand in front of it, and they'd read it out loud, and they'd start in a really soft, whispering voice, and then when they got to the end and the last words, which you can see, they would all scream it out in unison, because I always explained to them when they would come to my house that art is, things like this are okay in art, that art is for expression and nothing to be ashamed of. This piece is by Chloe Wise, and with her work she looks at women and how women are painted as like almost like still lives, like something to be consumed. And I love the little raspberry on the end as this little bit of food that, you know, she's sort of like a bowl of fruit to me. I love portraiture. Portraiture is a big part of my love of art. For me, there's a true intimacy and romance to painting, and when I first saw the work of Andrew Olcott, it resonated with me on a deep level. There's a sensitivity and an honesty to it that I find very seductive. I love the fact that he paints what he wants to paint, and he does so with, you know, no apology, and it has a sexiness to it, a quiet sexuality to it that I find to be really appealing. And I find that the technique of the idea and the notion of taking a photo that he's either taken or he's found, and the only caveat being that it has to have some relationship to his life, and is really interesting. And the whole autobiographical nature of the work and the way it's woven through with images like this, but also with photos of himself when he was young. So I find the entire body of work really compelling. I've traveled all over the world looking for work for myself and for my clients. And right now I'm really excited because I've found this artist from Ireland, actually, in the UK. His name is Peter Doyle, and he's just a really young, dynamic artist, and I think that he is going to be an exciting artist to follow and watch his practice grow. This is a piece by Lisa Yuskavage. It's one of my favorite pieces in the collection. It sits at the end of my bed, so when I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I see, and I find it to be incredibly empowering. It shows women in a state of full control. This is her. This is who she is. She's free, and she's strong, and she's unashamed. So these are 3 pieces by Richard Prince. They're part of a series of 18, a body of work called Together. They are a direct reference to de Kooning. He went through one of his catalogs, and he just started marketing and ripping them and just recreated his own body of work. And I think that, again, we go back to humor, and I do find it to be really quite entertaining. This is a piece by Luce Meunier from Montreal. A client came in actually quite regularly and just fell in love with the work, but he wasn't in a position to purchase it, so I offered to do that for him. Art's about sharing, and so if I can help somebody acquire a piece of art that I know that they're going to enjoy and they're going to love for a long period of time, then I'm really happy to do that. And in the meantime, I get to enjoy the benefits of that.